thanks for joining us here. We're delighted to begin our Fireside Chat with Philippe Krakowsky, the Chief Operating Officer of Interpublic Group.
In our media business for a long time, you begin to have the ability to do some really interesting things and kind of new products, new models, these very powerful segments that can drive to business outcomes. And I'd love for us to be a business where we get more and more of our compensation based on true performance, right?
And also obviously very strategically, you have enormous consumer insights for your clients, which is really what ultimately drives everything is your understanding.
Spend on marketing is a very, very sizable line item for most of our clients' budgets. And so if you can say to them, we can help you begin to drive a lot more efficiency and a lot more effectiveness from those dollars and see where there is just wastage and see where with these new capabilities we can find you audiences that you might not have seen out there, or with machine learning triggers in behaviors among certain audiences that will likely lead to conversion or retention or lifetime customer value. It really changes the game for us.
Arguably a few years ago, the consultants took a step into marketing services.
They did.
What is your perspective on the competitive landscape and how well Interpublic is to take advantage of that?
I was speaking at an event at the very, very beginning of the year before we all went into lockdown, and the head of one of the consultancies, he showed up with a reel of commercials. So that clearly says something. Right. And I showed up, and we ended up talking a lot about ways in which we think we might be able to get patents on some of these methodologies that we're developing.
I would agree. I mean, I think it presents a huge opportunity as you look at beyond the marketing services realm. You're opening up a $500 to $1 billion.
I was going to say 10x, right?
$1 billion market cap, exactly. So leadership in a crisis. How do you manage and lead and communicate and keep people engaged?
So the word crisis is the one that really speaks to me, right? And so when you're dealing with a crisis, what do? You communicate more than not.
Let's talk about diversity and inclusion. How important is that to Interpublic?
It's something we've been focused on for a long time, right? So it's been over a decade. We brought a full-time chief diversity officer into the holding company and funded a sizable budget. We've tied the compensation of our CEOs to diversity objectives, qualitative and quantitative.
We appreciate your perspective. It's been really helpful and a delight being a colleague and friend of yours for this years, and wish you the best.
Take care.